Welcome to this episode of the Cold Start Corner Experts. I'm Eric Matei, hanging out with Jen Gill of Eyetastic Services, where we're going to be talking about recruiting for your Cold Start. Jen, hello. Thank you so much for joining us here at the Cold Start Corner.
Hey, Eric. Thank you so much for having me.
Excellent. So look, I know we were having a great conversation prior to going live here with the recording. I know we got some great stuff to get to. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. And I suppose let's start this conversation with the importance of hiring the right people.
Yeah, hiring the right people, extremely important. You have to remember there's a big cost that goes into hiring people. It's not just putting ads out there, it's the time spent. You cannot get time back. It's not good. If you hire someone, they stay on for, let's say, a few months, they don't work out. That's why it's imperative whenever you hire people, you look for the right people that'll fit your position.
Yeah. So on that note, then, as we're talking about the importance of hiring the right people, right? And we were talking about this prior. There's a combination of things to be looking for, right? It's kind of this functional capacity, and particularly if we think from the perspective of an optometrist looking to cold start their practice, there's a technical functional capacity, perhaps for an optician or a technician, right? But then there's also kind of this cultural component, right? Like just good cultural fit. So now you mentioned something a moment ago about the costs associated with that hiring process. And I know also you were commenting before also about turnover and like kind of the exponential costs associated with turnover when you're not getting the right people in the practice. What are some of the horror stories that you've witnessed where folks have been in a pinch to have to backfill someone that didn't quite work out?
Gosh, besides being like on busy season, like Q1, there's been times where, if there's an optician, sometimes in certain licensed states, you have to have opticians on duty. If someone, quits unexpectedly, maybe they didn't fit in with the culture, that's unexpected. Then you're like scrounging around to find someone that's licensed in that area. And, depending on where you're at, it's a little bit harder to find.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I suppose also a lot of this is going to have a lot to do based on the scope of care of the practice, right? As far as given the method of care and services and materials that the doctor is looking to dispense, obviously that will also inform what are these skill sets that are needed in hiring the right people, right?
And that definitely makes a big thing of, what the skills are when hiring the right people. You want to make sure that you have a good job description. You know exactly what you are looking for.
Sure.
Just sit down, even make what are you missing in your establishment, and then see how you can kind of find that in your new hire. If you're missing a little bit more social media, human resources, or you need to have that friendly face, that's kind of the criteria that you use your recruitment standards on.
Absolutely. Okay, so on that note, and I'm glad you were mentioning job description. I think this is a really, really great transition into talk about the process. So exactly what does that recruitment process look like?
I first, with any type of recruitment, you want to know what you are looking for. Yes, you could be looking for a technician, but what type of technicians? What are their duties going to be? You really want to kind of hone in on that and keep that focus on what you are looking for. If you want a tech that is a little bit more admin, where all they're doing is entering stuff into the EHR, that's kind of what you look for. So based on that, whenever you are hiring, you're getting resumes, you kind of look for those criterias. They may not have any optical experience, but you still want to kind of make sure they are a good fit. If you are having issues, for example, we brought up high turnover. You don't want someone on their resume, 3 months here, 2 months here, 4 months here, unless like it was a seasonal employee or it was like externship. So that's kind of what you want to look for when you start the process of and interview a bunch of people. It's good to kind of get your feet wet, see what's going on, really understand because that sometimes helps you understand what you're looking for as well too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so it starts with a job description. And it sounds to me like maybe that's kind of one of the first like key takeaways here, right? Is you have to have a well-defined, detailed, thorough job description. But from there, it's not like someone just creates a job description, throws it out into the universe, and then they get applicants.
No.
coming in. So how do you get the word out? I mean, what are some of the best practices for doctors to get the word out when they are looking to hire a team?
Yeah, so the opposite's actually there. Whenever you put your job ad out, whether it's LinkedIn, Indeed, whatnot, you actually want to make that job description almost like you're selling the position. People now, they're not looking for, like a dictator type job description or job ad out there. They want it to be fun. They want to make sure, you'll probably see me all the time. Hey, we have this amazing opportunity, something nice. Put those nice little adjectives in there. Make it fun. All the time I always get compliments whenever people call me, like, your practice just looked so nice. It seemed fun. And that's the feedback. And you still want to portray that, even, I know it's kind of jumping forward, but in the interview too, it's
Sure.
all sales, it's people to people and just making those connections.
Absolutely. So you say jumping ahead, but I think it's a perfect time to talk about the interview. Okay. So we're going to start with identifying what those seats are that you're needing in your cold start, right? Optician, technician, front desk, biller. Create those job descriptions, detailed, thorough job description. Get the word out and have fun getting the word out. But here's the big day when people are coming in for interviews. So, most doctors who are looking to cold start a practice, they've never been in a hiring position. They never owned a business and are going to have to be making these decisions. So walk us through some of the best practices in the interview process.
I like to make it fun. I like to just talk to them and just kind of make it a very natural conversation. I generally, I will admit, I don't do those like tell me about yourself type things. I just talk to them like very natural. And maybe it's because I'm a mom. I kind of do those dig questions where,
Sure.
I kind of find information. I can kind of feel people really well. You don't want it to be like sterile where, you can hear a pin drop. You want it fun. You want your interviewee to be natural, relaxed. That's where they'll give you more information. And I just find that to be a lot easier. People are more reluctant to reach back out to me due to this, which kind of counters the ghosting aspects that we are in nowadays, where so many people ghost you on interviews. Just make it fun. And again, it ties back to that culture bit too.
Yeah, fantastic, excellent. So on that note, getting through the interview process, do you recommend follow-up interviews? Do you recommend shadow days? And let's also talk about the importance of checking references. Yes. I know it's something that can be very big. So again, kind of coach our viewers through the post-interview as you're coming to maybe make a decision. You've had someone you've had a fine conversation with. You're excited, but where to go from there?
Yes, I mean, you can definitely. I do believe in shadowing. Have the interviewee stay there for, a few hours, kind of watch everyone, interact with them, because it is also a team decision in the same sense, because then you can kind of see how the team feels with it. Plus, it also helps back to, again, the whole cost effectiveness. If they're not happy with it, but they stay there until they can find another job, you don't want that. Have them actually know what their job duties are. Even if it's all day, just pay them for one day of work if you have to. And that, it helps everyone else out. You can even, I've heard some people, they do it for a week. Hey, come here for a week, work, see how everything goes. We'll come back to it. Following, make sure you're happy, make sure I'm happy, and it's a win-win for everyone.
Awesome. So it's really great. So again, we know hiring the right people is vitally important. As far as the process goes, start with creating very detailed job descriptions, right? From there, get the word out and have a lot of fun getting the word out, but then definitely be locked in for your interviews. And in the context of the interview, right, it seems that doctors are going to have a balance of functional, needed skills, what have you, but also really definitely connect, right? Don't let the job duties and expectations overshadow connection. Start with the connection piece.
Also, try to get them in as soon as possible, because if they applied for your position, they probably applied for 100 more.
Gotcha.
And sometimes if you're not quick enough, you lose them. Almost like buying a house, how you have that 3-day window. Same thing. Get them in, talk to them. If you want to put an offer out for them, try to do it immediately, because if not, they're going to accept an offer somewhere else.
Awesome. Fantastic. So again, the importance of having that process in place, right? Having that recruitment interview process in place. Well, look, now let's shift gears. A lot of great insights here, Jen. But let's now shift gears and talk about some of those unexpecteds that can occur, which I think may point actually to all the more importance for having the process, right? So let's talk about some of these unexpecteds that can happen through the recruiting and onboarding process.
Oh gosh, like especially if it's a cold start, the first day that you open, someone doesn't show up, or 2 days before they say hey, they accepted another offer that paid more. Gosh, there's so many unexpected things that can happen. Someone has a really good, this, really awesome resume, they send it in, and then, they just don't show up. Like you said, it does go back to the culture. It's like sales, it's marketing. You want them to come to you. You want them to want to work at your job. Not that they want to work there, to make a paycheck. They want to work for you. You need to always, recognize them, even on the phone. Give them compliments if you have to. Just like, whenever I'm still an optician, but if people came in, I would compliment them. Hey, I like your hair. Your glasses are awesome. You want to still do that because, they're going to be working with you. I don't say for you, with you. You guys are going to be a team. You want them to want to work there.
Fantastic. Awesome. Okay. So now let's talk. I'm supposed to kind of maybe start to pull it all together. What are a few best practices that cold start doctors should be adopting here as they're going to look to build their team? What are some of these best practices from the recruiting side?
Yes. Definitely always check out the resumes. Make sure that they are within date. People aren't, job hopping a lot. Job description is a big one. Make sure that you are definitely getting in with your job description is exactly what you're looking for. Sometimes you want to have, if you're looking for an office manager and you want human resources, social media, optical sales, the works, you may need to get a few other people because some people may not hit all those qualities, or you need to be willing to train them. Definitely, because I always see a lot of people ask about, what the pay range would be. You can always do, I call it like a comp analysis, where you kind of reach out to certain areas and, maybe do like a 30-mile radius, depending on where you are, cities, 5 miles, kind of see where it is so you are where you need to be for, pay. Those would be about it. And of course, you can always hire recruiters as well, too. We're kind of like your third party there. So
absolutely. And thank you for all those pearls, right? These best practices. And yeah, Jen, so definitely tell us a bit more then. What exactly do you guys do at Eyetastic Services?
Well, we are a recruiting agency. We're actually, all of us that work here, we're all eye care professionals. I'm a licensed optician in Florida. We have doctors, technicians. Our goal is to help bridge the gap in the staffing industry. We see a lot of people looking, and we understand. I used to manage opticals, and sometimes time gets away from you. All of a sudden it's like 5, 6 o'clock at night. You're done. You didn't even get a chance to look at any resumes that came in, let alone hire or interview someone. That's where we step in. We'll do the interviewing for you. We'll help them. We kind of hold their hand throughout the process, and we hold your hand throughout the process to make sure that, there's a match there.
Fantastic. Or should I say Eyetastic?
Yes, Eyetastic.
So how can folks, if folks have questions for you regarding the recruiting process, or if they want to learn more about Eyetastic Services, how can they connect with you and take this conversation forward?
Yeah, go to eyetasticservices.com and just fill out a form, and it'll come directly to us, and we can give you a call, and we can go over what your hiring needs are and see what your goals are in the future.
Absolutely. Fantastic. Jen Gill, thank you so much for joining us here on the Cold Start Corner. Again, for everyone out there that's going through the Cold Start process or looking to purchase a practice, recruiting, onboarding is a critical need. And thank you so much for sharing your insights and all the great stuff that you guys are doing at Eyetastic Services. For all you that join us tuned in, on behalf of our team here at Akrinos, I'm Eric Matei. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow the Cold Start Corner here at Akrinos.com, and follow us on the socials for everything you'll need to plan, develop, and launch your private practice. Jen, thank you so much for joining us. Everybody have a great week.
Bye. Thank you.